What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a minute, but today we're gonna do something really fun. We're gonna get away from gardening for the day and we're gonna do some pavers. So ever since I bought the house, this is my front patio. The prior owner had this stuff down, which I couldn't stand. Leaves and dirt and all kinds of stuff would get in there. It was a nightmare to clean. So I pulled it all up last weekend. And then you can also see that they painted underneath it, which it's already all flaking. So I went ahead last weekend. I bought all these thin pavers from Home Depot. I've already got most of them cut. I've got this big gap right here on my entranceway, and it fits perfect. So these are going to be perfect here. Now, I am going to thin set them. I can't stand that joint paver sand stuff. I've used it in the past. I absolutely hate it, so we're not going to do that. So we're going to thin set them. But I'm afraid with all the paint coming up that it's going to give me problems down the line. So I've got this concrete grinder. I'm going to see if I can't grind some of this paint off first, and then we'll start to thin set them. But I've already got most of them laid out over here. This is my wet saw that I used to cut them all. Now I actually dry cut them and they work perfect. I ended up getting a new blade, so they cut perfect. But I will have to cut a couple, so I'll show you that. But definitely stay tuned to the end. It's gonna come out amazing. And then at the end, I'll go over exactly what it cost me. You'll be surprised about how cheap it really was. And stay tuned, let's get to work. All right, what a mess. I don't know how much of that you could even see. But it came out pretty good. Not all the paint came off, but anything that didn't come up is not gonna come up. We got it scratched up pretty good, so the thin set should stick to that really well. Now we're just gonna give it a quick wash. All right, here we go. We'll do a couple rows at a time. Now I had to cut a soldier course for this part up against the house. Honestly, that probably took the longest, figuring out the exact design. So there it is. Day one is done. So I'll wait for the thin set to dry, and then tomorrow I'll come out and seal them with the sealer that I got. So stay tuned for that. All right, we are back. It's the next day. It's been just over 24 hours. I've been waiting on the sun to get behind the house because it says you're not supposed to put the sealer down in direct sunlight. So I made a little makeshift cardboard thing to block out the little bit of sunlight that I was getting on this side, but they're all nice and dry. I've been walking on them. Everything looks good. I've already taped off all around the edges. I just don't want to get any on the house, because once this stuff goes down, it's down. So pro tip, if you're using the sand, which we are not, make sure you got the sand where it needs to be, because if it's on top of the pavers and you put this sealer down, it's going to be like cement and you're never going to get it off. So make sure they're nice and clean. You got them exactly the way you want before you put it down. Make sure you shake it well. I've already done it. All right, so that's a wrap. Let's check it out. The total time it took me to do the whole job, I would say about 8 to 10 hours. You know, I did a little bit here and there, so it wasn't too bad. The pavers I bought at Home Depot, they're the thin pavers. They are the Harvest Blend. That was the color. The total cost for the job. So the pavers are obviously the most expensive. This took me 300 pavers to do the patio. I had them delivered. If I didn't have them delivered, it would have been a little bit cheaper, but it was about $300 with delivery of the pavers. I ended up buying a new diamond tip concrete saw blade. I already had the wet saw. The blade was 10 bucks. I used one, I think it's a 40-pound bag of the thin set. That was 10 bucks. And then I think the sealer might have been 40 bucks. So the total job was $360 out the door, 8 to 10 hours of work. And that's what you get. I do projects like this all the time. I just usually don't film it because filming it can be a pain sometimes. It just slows me down. But if you want to see more projects like this, let me know. Leave me a comment. I do all kinds of stuff. Front yard, backyard, inside the house. I'm a DIYer. But if you enjoyed the video, at least just give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If I did good, bad. Appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next one.